You're listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. The show that gives pastors and church leaders the clarity they need to protect their people, property, and ministry.
Welcome back to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. I'm your host, Ron Wadley, with Insurance for Texans. We help church leaders protect their people, property, and purpose, one smart decision at a time. We're wrapping up our series, Questions You Might Be Too Afraid to Ask About Your Church's Insurance. And today's question is a tough one. What happens if my church doesn't have insurance right now? More churches are facing that situation than you might think. There's a small church in Abilene that had stood for more than a century. Creaky floors, vintage paneling, and generations of memories. 2 years ago, rising premiums forced their leadership to make a tough choice. They let their insurance policy lapse just for a little while, but a little while turned into 2 years. Then this spring, a storm ripped the roof off a neighboring church. That's when panic hit. They called us wondering if it was even possible to get insured again after such a long gap. Here's the truth. Letting your insurance lapse doesn't just mean you're uninsured. It can make getting coverage again much harder. Carriers see gaps as red flags. They want to know why the policy was dropped. Were there any unpaid claims? Or can the church not afford the premiums? Some insurers won't quote at all if there's been a lapse over a year. Others will offer limited coverage with higher deductibles or exclusions. You can still get insured, but it'll likely take more work and cost more than before. If your church hasn't been insured for a few years, prepare for sticker shock. Across Texas, church insurance premiums have nearly doubled. Why? Because Texas leads the nation in billion-dollar weather events. Hail, tornadoes, hurricanes, wildfires. Insurers are paying out record claims, and that cost gets passed to you. If your building is older, with an aging roof or outdated wiring, the cost climbs even faster. That's one reason it's imperative to maintain continuous coverage. Once you step out, getting back in gets expensive. When the Abilene church started calling around, they expected options. Instead, they hit walls. Some agencies didn't return calls, others no longer covered churches, and one company required a paid building inspection before quoting. That's the new reality. Many traditional carriers have left the Texas church market. Others only insure churches with continuous coverage and clean claim histories. That leaves many uninsured churches turning to specialty or surplus carriers, solid programs, but with higher premiums and stricter terms. It's not ideal, but it's still possible, and you need to know what to expect. When reapplying for insurance, underwriters don't just look at your building, they look at what your ministry does. They'll ask lots of questions. They often want to know if you host community events or outside groups, run a daycare, pantry, or youth trips, or rent space to other organizations. These activities aren't necessarily problems. They just affect your risk profile. The clearer you are about your ministry activities, the easier it is to find the right coverage. When the Abilene church connected with our True Texas Church insurance team, we started fresh. We reviewed what had changed, updated building info, and built a plan that fit both their ministry and their budget. It took time, but they got insured again and regained peace of mind. If your church is uninsured right now, here's what to do. Number 1, don't wait. Every month without coverage is risky. Number 2, gather building info, things like roof age, wiring, maintenance history. Number 3, be honest about ministry activities. And last, but most important, work with a church insurance specialist. Not every agent understands how to write these policies. Visit insurancefortexans.com to connect with one of our church insurance specialists. We'll help you rebuild coverage that fits your ministry. And for more in-depth information about church insurance, get a copy of our book, The Promise of Certainty, at thepromiseofcertainty.com. I'm Ron Wadley, and this has been Faith Stewardship and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. Until next time, remember, it's never too late to protect what God has built, but it's always too risky to wait another day.
Thanks for listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance. Until next time, remember, Insurance isn't just about policies. It's about safeguarding the mission God has called you to lead.